This is a brief tutorial on how to set up the G-scale crossing gates with the solar panel. We have a 2-gate system set up. We have one sensor in this particular configuration. Traffic's going one way. We have two gate controllers. Here are the gate controllers. I've taken them out of the box. These are magnet based. So when you take all of the stuff out of the box, put it on the bench or your kitchen table and just kind of lay it out like this. Leave the cross bucks in the bag because we're not going to use them until the very end. So put them aside. And here's the output from the solar panel, and we provide this little short pigtail, and I've connected it to a terminal block. I bought this on Amazon. It's an AB, so there's an A side and a B side. And when you're wiring this, it doesn't matter which side you use. So I put the power from the solar panel into one side, and then I just connected the provided power connectors, and that's all there is to it. And these will plug into the the gate controller board. So for now, let's just put everything aside. By the way, the orientation inside the case is with the power up, and this will go here into the slot like that, and the power wire will go back down through the hole and through the block. Now I have this one block out here. I want to show you that we provide these little feet. You may or may not want to use them. If you do use them, here's the technique for inserting them. You come at about a 45-degree angle, put the plug into the hole, and push down and turn it, and it'll go right in. If you try to push it straight in, you'll have some difficulty. So at about a 45-degree angle, push and twist, and that's how that works. Okay, put that aside, put that aside. We're going to take everything out, put the boxes aside, and we'll get to them a little bit later. Now, your gate may come with the arm slightly down. That's fine, just leave it like that. I've pushed these slightly offset so when the arms go down they don't hit each other, and I've just wired this up, okay? So we're going to put the gate connectors in. Just pull these wires forward. There are two connectors. There's a 4-pin and a 5-pin. And the 5-pin will only go in the 5-pin socket. So we're going to, power's off, we're going to put the 5-pin in first. And the reason is that it's possible to put the 4-pin in the 5-pin and then get confused. So put the 5-pin in first. It only goes one way, smooth side up. You can see the little metal tabs there. So smooth side up into the board. You don't have to force it, and then put the 4-pin in, and we're going to do the same over here. Okay, and we're going to put the 5-pin in. Whoops, this one first. 5-pin in first, and then the 4-pin. The 4 pins for the motor, the 5 pins for all the lights, and the stop controller. All right, so we'll put that aside, and we're going to use some isopropyl alcohol. There's a little screw that's on the arm that will touch this piece of aluminum, and over time it'll oxidize a little bit. So later on, when we can control the gates with the motors, we will show you how to clean that. But for now, when you get your kit, wire this up and get ready to plug in the second one, but only do one at a time. Always when you're putting this together, make sure one thing works, then move on to the next step. So all I'm going to do here is I've got this one hooked up and ready to go. And when I plug in the power, the light will go on. I'll go off and then flash 4 times, 5 times, and then the gate will go up to the set position. All right? This will flash. This is what we call the heartbeat. If that doesn't happen, don't keep fiddling with this. Try again. Unplug. Now the gate's already gone up to the stop position. You may see it when it's at the top position and it resets, so flashes, and then sometimes you'll see this flash momentarily, but in this case, since it's against the pin, nothing happened. Now what I want you to do, suggest you do, is your first test. We've configured this already, so all you have to do is push this set button twice, 1, 2, and the gate will go down. Okay, and it will stop. So this is called manual mode. All right, and just we got all the lights blinking, everything's working fine. I'm going to push it twice again, and it's going to go back up. Wonderful, and stop, and make sure that it stops. Okay, so now we're going to plug in the second gate and go through the same routine. We're just going to plug in the power. Flashes 4 times, and this time you saw the arm move a little bit in flash, so it's in the set position. We're going to push this twice, 1, 2, and the arm goes down, and it will stay down forever until you turn the power off. Now if you happen to turn the power off right now, okay, for some reason it disconnects or whatever, when you turn the power back on in this position, of course this one's already in the up position, both of these will reset, but this one, since it was in the down position, it will go back to the up position and it's ready to go. So this is the steady state position. All right, so now we know both controllers are working, and now I can set up the sensor. All right, here's the sensor in the box. The sensor is on this side, the little black thing at the top. And so the hole for the box has to go in there, but for now, we'll just leave it off, all right? And we'll aim it out into space. And what we'll do is we're gonna connect the 2 red wires. So there's a yellow wire. Yellow wire in our system is always the signal wire. So we're gonna connect 2 reds to the power system and then turn that on and test it. All right, I've connected the 2 red wires, which are the power wires, to the sensor, and I'm going to plug the solar power back in, and the green light for the Precision Detector Max will blink 4 times and go off. It did. If I put my hand in front of it, you can see that the detector is picking up my hand as the motion. All right, I did not connect the signal wire yet because I just want to make sure that the detector works, and it does. I can adjust the timeout by adjusting the right hand trim pot, and I can adjust the distance by adjusting the left hand one. In the manual, there's a section, there's a video on our YouTube how-to section. The playlist goes into great detail about how to set the precision sensors. They all work the same, whether it's the G scale, N scale, or HO. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect the power, and I'm going to connect the signal wire to the first, this is the left-hand gate crossing, and the wire is going to go from the right into the terminal here, and it's going to be the bottom one as the board faces you like this. So power on the left, cables on the right. It's going to be the bottom connector is the detect terminal. I'm just going to give that a little screw, put that down, and so I'm going to plug the power back in. Okay, it's going to go through its reset. The detector did do its reset, blinked, and now if I put my hand in front of the detector, the gate crossing will activate. Now once it starts to activate, you'll notice the sensor, I've taken my hand away. The gate will start and go through its sequence, but since I took my hand away, the gate will open up immediately again. All right, so if I put my hand down and keep my hand down, all right, now you'll notice that this is different than immediate mode. It takes 5 seconds to delay before the gate goes down, and as long as the detector is active, the gate will stay down. So imagine the train going by, and if I lift my hand, oops, you know what's happening? The gate arm is in the way of the sensor. So we'll just move that away and the gate will go up. Okay? So now, if I want to make the gate go down immediately when the sensor hits, I press the select button 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this will flash a few times. Now, when I put my hand in front, it won't wait the 5 seconds. It'll go down immediately. Okay? And I'm going to hold it up and take it away, and There we go, and it will activate immediately. So there's 3 modes. There's an immediate mode, which we just showed you. There's the 5-second mode, which was the one before that, and there's a 10-second mode. So you could have the gates flash, 5 seconds later the gate go down. You could have it so the gate on the right-hand side is also flashing, but it waits for 10 seconds before the gate goes down. So a little bit of animation choice there, and so we have this set up. All right, so back to the sensor. I'm going to unplug the power, and now I want both gates to go at the same time. So it's simply a matter of connecting the signal wire from the first gate controller to the same detect on the other gate controller. All right, all I did at this point, I disconnected the connectors, and I ran the 3 wires, the power wire and the 2 wires with the connectors from the gate, and just ran them up through the bottom of the block. All right, so probably the best way to do this, again, 5 wire first, which is this one on the left, the 4 wire next, just insert it, then put the power wire in from the top. All right, and just lift it up, and there's a little slot in the bracket, and just slide it down in, and that's the way it should look. I didn't put the detector wire up, but that will go up through the center and be connected on the left side as we showed you before. So we'll just leave that aside for now, and I'm going to just turn the power on to show you that that's what it looks like and blinks. And now, like before, I can push this button twice and the gate will activate. That's manual mode. So that confirms that everything's plugged in properly. I've got power, and turn it back and have it go back up to the top. And the last thing is put the cover on. All right, if you have any questions, email me or call us at 407-242-5436. And the last thing that I forgot to show you before, I'm going to make the gate go down. And I have this isopropyl alcohol. You can get this at CVS or Walgreens or wherever. I put it in a little cup. And I want to show you so the place to clean. Let me open this up. So I take a Q-tip, dip it in the isopropyl alcohol, and right here is where the metal could get a little oxidized, and the screw top, just like that. And the nice thing about isopropyl alcohol is it evaporates very quickly, and that should give it about 10 seconds. Let it dry off, and return it to the top. And if it's working, it should go off. Bingo. All right, that's all there is to that. Now, the last thing we talked about is the cross bucks and the cap. All right. So there's a little tiny screw back here, and it just needs a slight turn to add friction. Do not overturn this, you'll crack the pipe. Okay, and this just slides down over the top. We don't include it as the package comes to you, because it could get banged around and broken. So there, just a little bit of pressure. All right. Now, what I want to make sure is that the gate crossbuck does not block the arm, because then the screw will never touch the metal. So just be mindful of that. With the arm up, I can now tighten this screw a little bit. It really doesn't take much. Put the cap on. There we go. There we go. And we are all set. Beautiful.